Hi everyone, and welcome back to another video demo where we're going to be touching on Veeam Backup for AWS version 3. You can see here that I have version 2, which is the current release. But let's go into our new updater that we saw in our version 2 demo, and you will see that you've got your version 3 update available here. So this is where we can update not only the Veeam software, but also the underlying operating system as well. Now, that OS was already updated, but from a product point of view, this is what we've got access to. So quickly run through this. This will install an update, and we've just told it that you can reboot if need be. This is in a lab environment, so yeah, I'm okay with it rebooting on the fly as we see fit. And then what we're going to do is we're going to just click proceed, and we're going to head over back into our console. And then from there, we're going to refresh because it likely has, well, it has rebooted. But it's very fast to come back up. So if we re-authenticate back into that system, you're then going to be met with with this pop-up window or this pop-up wizard, just giving us a very brief introduction to what we can expect in version 3. You can also see up in the top right hand corner around insufficient permissions. We'll work on that and we'll get that sorted. So the first part is around, probably the biggest ticket item is being able to protect RDS and VPC. So RDS being your relational database services or instances, and being able to restore those back in, not just IaaS, which is what it is today. Also around VPC network configuration, we've done more around the application consistency, so being able to be more consistent when it comes to protecting those IaaS workloads. And then finally, more security conscious around roles and access based control. So permissions, delegating, backup, recovery, management of all of that stuff as well. Okay, so now let's get into it. So I went away and I fixed my the IAM roles, or the accounts that has access. So went and created a newer account with the actual permissions to be able to do more that was missing. So if we come back into the overview, and first of all, you're going to notice this EC2 and RDS instances, whether they're total, whether it's protected, etc., etc. So I already have an existing EC2 policy created. So this does a snapshot schedule, a backup schedule. It replicates it to a different region or availability zone. And you can see down here, it's a simple Linux EC2 instance, generally turned off unless I'm using it, conscious of saving the pennies. If we go into RDS, you'll see that I don't have anything created. So let's quickly just take a look at what this looks like. So let's choose that Veeam Backup for AWS account that I've just re-added. We can see that it has access to everything that we need. So this check permissions, which you're going to see a lot throughout the different policy creations. Where do we want to protect our data? Well, I know that I've got RDS instances running in US East. And then let's select the resources. And you can see here, we can get them from the drop down. We can use tags, all of the same stuff that you've probably seen if you've been using this from an EC2 point of view. So, and what does this look like from okay, what engine are we protecting? So you can see here that I've got SQL Server, I've got Postgres, I've got MariaDB, I've got MySQL. But if we head on over here, you're going to see under the dashboard, if you go create database, this is where you've got that access to creating those. So being able to protect them. And again, read up, make sure that we do support the ones that you see. So let's say we want to protect all of those. Apply that. We could do it based on tags, but just for the purpose of the demo, we could choose to replicate those snapshots between different locations as well. We can say that we want to keep a daily retention of these, so 1 per hour. And whilst this is not new, but obviously this is now we're focusing on RDS and not just IaaS. This cost estimation up in the top right hand corner. So if we started to say, okay, let's do it every 4 hours, you're going to hopefully see that price come down a little, because we're not going to need that storage space. If we apply that, you saw it come down ever so slightly. If we want to replicate that, we can say where we want it to replicate to. Let's say no to that. So I want to just keep the snapshots. You can see that the snapshots are going to cost me $5.93 for each of those. Automatically retry. Again, it's going to give you a summary of what that's going to look like. We're going to create 6 snapshots and keep 24 of the most recent snapshots. So in fact, that's probably a good place to just head back, because it didn't change for us because we kept this the same. So it just meant that we're always going to keep this, and this is ultimately where your retention comes. So let's say, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's half that, and then when we hit apply, okay, a couple of pence came off there. But you start to see that we're going to keep 2 days. If we started to ramp up, that's going to change significantly and give you an estimated monthly cost of that. And this could be, generally speaking, you probably got more instances as well. And if we hit finish and just create that backup job, then we've got our VPC. So we've never created a backup of this, but if we go and have a quick look at and this is automatically created, but you can, and this is kind of a catch-all is my understanding. So we're going to automatically collect all the VPC settings. We are going to not create an additional copy, but we could. So if we wanted to say, I want to put that into a Veeam S3 repository, we can do. We want to keep it every day, or sorry, every 1 hour, and keep for a month. Obviously you can change that accordingly. Email notifications if you had them configured, and then enable. One of the good things, and I won't go into it in this, but maybe there's a reason for a follow-up demo, is this gives us the ability to compare as well. So not only are we going to take all of that VPC configuration backup across your account, but what it's also going to do is it's going to enable us to see what's changed. If something goes wrong, come in here, check against your backup to yesterday's configuration backup, and then we can start to see what's actually what has changed, who changed what, and that sort of angle. So yeah, super simple stuff, but now we've got RDS, VPC protection, as well as some cool stuff around application consistency, and a lot more RBAC control as well. So getting more security driven within here. With that, let me know if you've got any questions in the comments down below, any feedback, if you'd like to see anything more, who's using it, all of the good stuff and feedback around that be really useful. Thank you.